What are you doing, bro?
Whose car is passed my way, you know what I'm saying?
Whose car is it?
It's mine.
Not right.
I just got the
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Apex Laurent, and we out here in the beautiful city of Houston. And I got my brother with me today, Kenny Kamdoum, businessman extraordinaire, who's gonna tell y'all a little bit about how his communication has impacted his business and a couple tips and tricks for you to start your wholesale real estate journey. But first, let's get into how he became the man he needed to be to find that success.
Yo, what it do? It's Kenny Kamdoum. I'm a real estate investor originally from Maryland, and then now I'm in Houston, Texas, buying land all over East Coast. I'm buying them, I'm selling them, and I'm also teaching people how they can do the same and also have financial freedom for themselves.
It might take you 1 month, 2 months before you actually see the results of your efforts. But can you imagine 2 months, then you make $10,000? Is that so bad? I don't think so, man. I'd rather wait 2 months to make $10,000 working on myself, for myself, than to make $2,000 every single month working for somebody else. You know? That's just, what pain are you willing to take?
Like I said, it's your boy Apex Laurent, and I'm sitting here with Kenny Kamdoum, real estate extraordinaire in Houston, Texas. Tell me something, Kenny. How much did communication play a role in finding success, whether it was through your sales, or whether it was through hiring employees, or whether it was just communicating with yourself to become the man you needed to be? How much would you credit communication to that?
Communication changed my life, okay? Because communication is the way of life. If you don't communicate something, then you aren't able to get it. So communication, when I was young, man, I didn't even want to communicate at all. Like, I was always by myself, not, wanting to talk to people. But it wasn't until I stopped being afraid of talking to people that I was actually able to see a lot more success.
What would you say is the number one, or at least some of the most important interpersonal skills that you need to be successful in real estate investing?
Interpersonal skill, I would say problem solving. I would say communication for sure. I would say self-belief. I would say that you need to have tenacity.
Can you give me examples of each of them?
Yeah.
How they apply in real estate?
So self-belief is because you have to believe that whatever you're going for is going to happen. And when it comes to real estate investing, there might be a month or 2 months where you're doing a lot of work, but you're not seeing any results, right? So you might make $0 January, $0 February, March you make 30K. But if you stop midway through February, you won't make 30K in March. So having that belief that you're going to be able to still achieve your goals, that's what I mean by self-belief. And I will also say tenacity for the same reason, where you have to continue to keep going, and you have to be unwilling to stop. You have to be unwilling to let temporary defeat stop you from actually realizing success.
So tell me about the communication, and you also said problem solving.
Yeah, problem solving, because when it comes to real estate, it's a business, and business have problems. So you just have to be willing to understand that, okay, here's a problem. Now what can I do to solve that? And just being able to have that mind frame will help you overcome a lot of, like, even the problems that you anticipate could happen. Because you might think, oh man, what if I don't make any money on this deal, right? And that might stop you from actually taking the action that you need to do to take. So that type of problem solving is important.
Don't let the problem become bigger than you are.
Then exactly, right. So putting the problem below you, saying that, okay, I'm gonna fix it no matter what. I'm gonna figure out a way. And then I said communication, because you need to talk to people. You need to be able to ask or be able to even make an offer, right? Especially if you think that the offer might be too low, you need to be able to still communicate that offer, because you don't communicate that offer, you cannot win, right? There's been multiple times when I thought my offer was way too low, and then I made the offer and they accepted it, and I made money, So just being able to communicate what you're feeling, what you're Like even with the seller, communicate the process of how it's gonna go, and instilling confidence through that communication is also important.
Another question for you. For people that have no idea about real estate investing, completely novice, just like me, never heard of the stuff, how would you describe it to them and its importance of being a good first step for your journey towards financial freedom or a little bit of extra money?
So when people hear about real estate investing, they always think about houses, and they think about having to buy one and renting it out. That's like the main popular form of real estate investing, or even fix and flip, but that's not really investing, right? But then there's also wholesaling that will actually be able to help you get started in real estate without really having a lot of risk. Like, you don't have to buy property to wholesale it, right? So you can like start, like, let's say you can put $500 into some marketing, get a lead, or get somebody that's interested in selling the property, getting that on a contract, and then finding somebody that's gonna buy that contract from you at a higher price without even you having to close on the deal or bring their own cash, right? There's a lot of buyers who are looking for good deals. So if you're able to find a good deal, you can get paid without even having to own property. And that's a great way to even get started in real estate, because that is the way you can build your cash, right? They call wholesaling the cash machine. So that's the way your active income, boom, generate 100K, generate 200K, and then now you go ahead and use that to buy investment properties.
What's the most common mistake you see when people start out, or what were some of the big mistakes that you were making early on that maybe delayed the process or stopped people from continuing the process?
I'm gonna talk personally for me, because I've actually gone through it. My number one mistake I've made for the first year and a half of my real estate business has been not been scared to take action, or being scared to actually being too perfect for everything to be perfect for me to actually think, okay, it's like having God, wanting God to come up to you personally and say, this is the way, bro. You know what I'm saying? Versus, yeah, progress over perfection. And that was my main thing. And that's really what stopped me, because once I was getting motivated sellers and I was making offers, but I didn't want to get properties under contract because I was afraid that I would get it on a contract at a too high price and then I'll be forced to buy it, right? But if you have the right contract, you can actually have power, the decision to say, I don't want to buy this, right? Like, you, even when you do get on the contract and it's at a high price, if you go over and negotiate with the seller and they say no, you can say, okay, well, I don't want to buy it. And my thing was I was scared to actually go through that process, and that's what stopped me for a very long time.
What about that process scared you?
Just not being able to perform, and then maybe getting sued, or like being into a lot of legal issues and stuff like that. Yeah, what potential consequences, right? So like, just like things like that is really what I was thinking about. I'm like, oh man, I'm scared. And I was just trying to look for that perfect deal, like everything to be aligned, when usually it's not like that.
So from what I'm understanding, it's like you learned how to focus more on the potential positive outcomes instead of focusing on the potential negative outcomes. Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about, like, what kind of mindset do you have to have when you go through a deal? Or like you talked about the months where it could be 2 months of work and no results. How do you push through that as somebody who's a little bit newer or just starting out?
You push through that by having active mentors in your life and active inspiration in your life. Like, when my year and a half before I even saw money, I was spending money on like coaching and stuff, right? Because it made me believe that this is possible for me, right? It was like I'm investing in the possibility of this being closer and, you know, happening actually. Listening through podcasts, seeing other people go doing deals, seeing other people post checks. Like, I'll go on Facebook, I'll see somebody post a 100K check, and I'm like, soon it's gonna be me, right? Just one day, I just gotta keep going. So just having like that positivity, that inspiration around you, those mentors guiding you, letting you know, just stick to the process, that is really how you overcome that whole, you know, that drought, basically.
Now, Kenny, appreciate you. You've been dropping gems on us. Can you tell me one thing that you wish you knew younger, or talk to somebody younger that wants to get into real estate, give them one piece of advice? And tell us which one you're doing.
One piece of advice that I could give my younger self, when starting out in real estate, or just overall.
It's a freestyle for you.
Okay. Man, that's tough, man, because there's so much I would say, bro. But
a lot of people like to lie about it. Oh, I wouldn't tell my younger self anything.
yeah, no, there's a lot, man. But I would definitely tell my younger self to learn about being more confident in anything that you do, right? Because if you're confident, especially if you're confident in, like, if you're starting a business, you're confident that you're gonna do it, right? You're confident that you're gonna go through it. That will just take you to a lot of places, right? Because there's been a lot of things I didn't do because I wasn't confident actually, like, being successful at it, and that held me back. That held me back for a long time. So if it was my younger self, I would say, man, be confident, because God always got you. Like, no matter what, especially if you're doing something positive, He's gonna help you out, overcome whatever negativity you think you might face from doing this.
For sure, man. And I'm gonna add, trust and find your process before you prioritize your profits. Because a lot of people see what they see online, or they compare themselves to other people in their lives and things like that, and tend to want to just skip the process and get the result. The dream result does not come without the process. So to your younger selves, or to young people watching this, be confident in all your decision making and take process over profits, because with the right process, the profits are undeniable and inevitable. It's your boy Apex Laurent.
It's your boy Kenny.
And we out. Remember, I tell my story and help people tell their stories, so that way, together we can make history. Here with the boy. We just finished up shooting the interview.
You know,
Kenny Kamdoum. Make sure y'all follow him on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. I'm gonna make sure I link all that in the description. We in Houston. Let's keep it going. I'm not gonna lie, Houston is wavy. It's this is a freaking food court. It's a freaking food court. Maybe it's because I live in North Carolina, I'm easily impressed. But I'm from Maryland, you know, I grew up in DC, so why am I so easily impressed? Maybe it's because I'm wearing this cool belt. Make sure y'all tap in though. Y'all know what it is. So why real estate? Why real estate investing?
Bigger profits. You know,
High profit margin.
higher profit margins. I would rather make $5K one time than sell a $100 product for $500. I'd rather do that.
Yeah, I heard the man. High profit margins are the key to a high profit business. Margins, high margin for profit, low margin for error. If you do it right, you gotta trust the process. Just like Jabari said in our last video with the 20